Democratic lawmakers are set to detail their case against Donald Trump as the former president's impeachment trial enters a second day. Each side has up to 16 hours to present their arguments in the Senate. The Democrats plan to establish that Mr. Trump is personally responsible for inciting the deadly Capitol siege. They'll have a tough job trying to convince Republicans to convict Mr. Trump, though. The Democrats need 17 Republican senators to vote with them to secure a two-thirds majority. So far, only 6 have agreed that the trial is even constitutional. Now, Simon Marks joins us live from Washington, D.C. for more on this. Simon, walk us through what happens from here.
So it's a trial, Steve, with Democrat impeachment managers from the House of Representatives acting as prosecutors, 100 members of the Senate acting as jurors, and Donald Trump's lawyers, who many Republicans accused yesterday of completely botching day one, now getting an opportunity to try and improve on their initial performance. Remember that the first day was all about the constitutionality of the trial. That has now been disposed of as an issue after a vote in the Senate last night affirmed that, yes, indeed, this is a constitutional proceeding. So we'll see in detail the case against Donald Trump being laid out by those Democrat impeachment managers from the House of Representatives. They've got 16 hours to do that, followed by up to 4 hours of questioning from members of the Senate. Then Donald Trump's lawyers will get the opportunity to try and rebut the arguments that the House of Representatives impeachment managers have presented. Again, 16 hours available to them, plus up to 4 hours of questioning. I think today we can expect dramatic use of videotape by the Democrats. They hinted at that yesterday. They rolled a 9-minute version of the events of January the 6th, filmed from multiple angles simultaneously, trying to show the entire timeline from Donald Trump telling his supporters to go to Capitol Hill to the time at which they then invaded the building in that deadly insurrection. And I think there will be wrenching testimony again today about the experiences that many on Capitol Hill went through that day when they say they were scared for their lives as Donald Trump's mob tried to find members of Congress and then Vice President Mike Pence threatening to kill him. So there's going to be an enormous task ahead for President Trump's lawyers by the time the prosecution rests its case.
And the jurors there will be needed a two-thirds majority for an impeachment. Is a second acquittal then more likely for Donald Trump?
There's nothing to indicate that this is going to end up with anything other than an acquittal for former President Donald Trump, because Republicans, despite the paucity of evidence to support his claim that he didn't commit insurrection, are under so much pressure from Donald Trump's supporters all over the country to acquit that there does not appear to be any move to convict. Now, Mitch McConnell, the Republican leader in the Senate, again told members yesterday this is a vote of conscience, raising the possibility that he might vote to convict. And the job that the president's lawyers did yesterday was so botched that we saw at least one Republican from Tennessee, Senator Cassidy, crossing over and joining the Democrats to argue that, yes, indeed, the trial was constitutional, which Donald Trump's lawyers had opposed. There's danger in that for former President Trump, but only limited danger. I mean, if only one Republican senator could change sides based on the abysmal job that the former president's lawyers did yesterday, it's hard to see how you get to the 67 needed to convict him. So even though Donald Trump was reportedly furious at the performance of his lawyers as he watched from Mar-a-Lago in Florida, he can still be pretty confident that this ends with acquittal.
All right, thanks very much for getting us up to speed. Simon Marks speaking to us from Washington, D.C.